I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit ashamed. I am a black man, and the only time I read about Mr. Terrific was in the Justice League. That's it. Don't know anything else about him. Like, I heard that Terrifics were really good, and that's the storyline I kind of want to cover, but this is the only issue. See, a select few of you would enjoy me covering that story, but only a select few of you. The majority of you probably don't give a damn, so I'm thinking about starting like a Patreon and just putting like different like stories on there that some of you guys would appreciate, because I know the majority of you don't. And before you say, oh, now you're going to charge us for these stories and so on and so forth, look, the Patreon, if I set it up, will be a lot less than a Starbucks coffee, and we know you buy at least 4 to 5 a week. We're talking about less than that a month. Anyway, support the comic book industry by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SCN Comics. We are starting our coverage of Mr. Terrific Year 1 with number 1. Our story starts off of Mr. Terrific, and he's thinking to himself about all the things that he went through ever since he put on the T. He's faced otherworldly forces. He's led teams of extraordinary people with powers of gods. He's faced monsters. He even had his own team, the Terrifics, which we already talked about in the beginning intro. But he has a superpower too, his mind, because he's considered the 3rd smartest person in the world. I really want to know who 1 and 2 is. Like, I'm assuming it's Batman, Lex Luthor, but now DC put it out here, I want to know. I want the top 5 smartest people in the DC universe. But then he gets into Darkseid, and how even though Darkseid is a force of nature, Darkseid is, that he didn't expect him to attack the new Justice League Watchtower with all the new members of the Justice League, but he did. And he even brings up how while Darkseid was attacking, how it brought up the emptiness that he's feeling from what Darkseid and his underlings did. So I'm like, what did Darkseid do to Mr. Terrific? But before Mr. Terrific can do really anything, all of a sudden, Darkseid was dead. So after he died, the one Justice League card all of a sudden turned into this Darkseid card that has his emblem on it and has his energy. And ever since that happened, Mr. Terrific's been looking at his card and he's like, something about this card, there's something familiar about it. Like, there's a certain signature that seems familiar. And when I say signature, I'm talking about like energy signature. So he thinks about it really hard, and finally he's like, that's it. I know I've seen that energy signature before. And he's like, it's time to go back home. It's time to go back to Gateway City. So then we do a flashback to a younger Mr. Terrific that has a full-grown beard, and his room's a mess. And his friend comes over, wakes him up, and is like, hey, time to start this day. So Mr. Terrific wakes up and he goes, all right, Nola, morning routine. And Nola's like, good afternoon, Michael. It is 12:42 p.m., so no longer considered morning. So we can't do the morning routine. And his friends in the next room like, tell him, Nola. So as he's walking to the kitchen, Nola is telling him about the things that are going on today, how Athena Prescott is meeting with the mayor and the city council. So his friend Dre that's in the kitchen, that's cooking him breakfast, like, stop, Nola. And he's like, you know, you never get out the house. And he's like, what are you talking about? I get out the house. Everything is fine. And you don't got to stop over all the damn time. And he goes, okay, Nola, when's the last time that Michael has stepped out the house for more than an hour? And she goes, 6 months ago. Mr. Terrific's like, stop, Nola. So then his friend brings up, and that's why I'm here, to get you out the house, to get you moving so you can move on from what happened a few years ago. And then he also brings up how he will be rich as hell once Mr. Terrific is finished developing some kind of app that will make him the #1 personal trainer on the planet, because he's the 3rd smartest person in the world. Now, he brings that up again. I want to know is, how long ago was this? And do we consider Mr. Terrific the 3rd richest or 3rd smartest person in the world still? Or did he move up or down? I really want to know. So then they start walking to his garage, and he's just carrying his plate and eating it. He goes, "This is great." He goes, "I know, you should hire me as your cook." And he's like, "For turkey bacon?" And he's like, "What? I got it from your fridge." And he was like, "And you put it in the fridge?" And then Dre's like, "You know what? That's beside the point." So as they go inside there, Dre's like, "You still messing with this beater?" And Mr. Terrific's like, "Etta, she's a classic." So as Mr. Terrific walks over to his laptop, Dre picks up a thing. He's like, "What is this?" And he goes, "Oh, it's my version of a skeleton key. It'll unlock any door." Dre's like, "How's it work?" Mr. Terrific's like, "It works. I'll put it down." And he has in his hand what looks like an early version of a T-spear. And it levitates for a second, and then it just falls to the ground. And Dre's like, "That's it?" Mr. Terrific's like, "Just wait." And all of a sudden, it shows a hologram of Dre, and he's setting up like this personal training thing. But then it goes out, and then Dre's like, "Okay, I like it. It's cool. I sent you like over 100 hours of my training tapes." I was like, 8 seconds. Mr. Terrific's like, "You gotta give me some time." So he's like, "You've been saying that for a year now. Like, yeah, I get some of that old Holt drive back." And Mr. Terrific's like, "Don't start." So then Dre's like, "Take a look at this." And he shows a newscast of Athena Prescott and how she has a building and how she's testing some kind of engine that's at the bottoms. I guess that's, let's just say the hood, just for all intents and purposes. And there's been reports of people getting sick that's nearby this building. So Dre's like, "You gotta do something about this. Like, you gotta say something." And Mr. Terrific's like, "I can't." Dre's like, "No, dude, you need to do something." He's like, "I can't. When I sold to Athena, I signed an NDA, so I can't say anything about her or anything." So then Dre's like, "But people are getting sick." And Mr. Terrific's like, "I sold it to Athena because she wanted to help people." So don't give me that. You could have sold to Wayne Tech. You could have sold to Queen Industries, Batman, Green Arrow. So he's like, "You sold to the first person who came along." Mr. Terrific's like, "That's not true." Dre's like, "Isn't it? Like, look, I know it's rough because of Paula and the baby dying, but you gotta get over this, man." He was like, "People are getting sick, and the only person that could do something about it is you." And he goes, "Even if I wanted to, there's no evidence." And Dre's like, "So you need evidence?" Like, "Yeah, we need evidence." It's like, "All right, I got you." Then we cut to downtown where Athena is meeting with the mayor and the other council members. And one council member brings up what Dre was talking about, how people are getting sick and she's turning on an engine. And she gives some piss poor excuse about, you know, how she's heartbroken that people are getting sick, but it's not because of what she's doing with her engine. The mayor's on board with Athena because he's already been bought. Like, he's probably wanting to get to his yacht, so he calls up the vote so he can get to that faster. And pretty much everybody votes for Athena. One person who doesn't is a woman who had concerns. So then we cut to Mr. Terrific visiting the gravesite of his dead wife and his kid. And the reason why I bring this up is because he says, "Babe, I messed up," because he knows he shouldn't have sold to that woman. So then we cut to a robbery in progress. And we know it's Dre because he has the skeleton key that Mr. Terrific was talking about. And like Mr. Terrific said, it works. So they get in, they take the pictures, and then get whatever download information that they needed. But then Athena's security team shows up. So there's a fight, and they're going at it. Athena's watching along, and she goes, "Activate the engine." It turns on, and she starts taking out not only the people that broke in, but also too her security staff. But one person, I guess, was able to climb up a rope and get away far enough from the engine to where it slightly affects him. So this heifer does not care. So then we cut to Mr. Terrific. He's sleeping, and he gets a phone call, picks up, and it's Dre. And Dre's like, "Look, dude, I need a pickup. I need a pickup now." Mr. Terrific's like, "Say less. I'll get your coordinates a month away." Athena goes into the office or into the lab that they were at, and she picks up something, and she goes, "Two of them got away." So Mr. Terrific picks up Dre and Etta, and Dre's is like, "Drive." So they're driving, and they're being followed. And Dre's like, "I hope this thing can go fast." Mr. Terrific's like, come on now, this is me. And he hits the gas, and she got like rocket boosters coming out the back. Like, this car can go fast, and they get away, or so they think. Because once they feel like they're far enough away, they stop and they start talking about what happened. Dre saying how he has his flash drive and how it's pretty much going to show all the bad things that Athena's been doing. When all of a sudden we see a sniper's like sights, and we hear a bang, and Dre is shot in the chest.